Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn how to work on socket programming. Means how we can create a client and a server, how they communicate each other. Means we have to create a client server chat server, and also how to resolve the web address of any host which is dynamically hosted on the website or on the any server like www.google.co.in or .google.com or Amazon site, whatever you want. You have to resolve that IP by using the socket. Now, before socket, we have to understand what is marshalling and demarshalling. Concept of marshalling and demarshalling. First thing is that what is marshalling? Marshalling. Object. We know that in same case of client and server, there must be some mediation. There must be some technology to transfer the object over the network. There is a network between client and server. So we are working on the object-oriented language, Python or in Java or in .NET. Object can never be transferred over the network. For this purpose, we have to convert the object into the byte stream. The conversion of byte stream, the conversion of object into the byte stream is called as marshalling. Means only byte stream can be transferred over the network. You cannot transfer the object over the network. For this purpose, we use the concept of marshalling. Means, in short, convert the object into byte stream is called as marshalling. After transferring the object at the other side, then that side needs an object not byte stream. Then we need to convert that byte stream again into an object. That is the process of demarshalling. Understand? Marshalling is the process of convert the object into the byte stream, and the demarshalling is the concept of convert the byte stream into the object. Let me show you. Let me create the program. Understand what is marshalling? Transfer of object or conversion of object into the byte stream is called as marshalling, and vice versa is called as demarshalling. When client send an object, it can which is first marshal into the byte stream, then the server receive the byte stream and convert it into the object, that is demarshalling. Again, server responds to the client by transferring the object. Again, server this side this time again server convert the object into the byte stream. Means marshalling is done also at the server side, and then that object received at client side, sorry, that byte stream is received at client side is also converted into the object. Means marshalling and demarshalling both are carried out at both sides, client side as well as server side. Means first marshalling is carried out at client side, then demarshalling is carried out at server side. After receiving request, server respond to client, then marshalling is carried out at server side, and when client receive the response from the server then byte stream is converted into the object, that is demarshalling. Means first marshalling at client side, demarshalling at server side, then again marshalling at server side and demarshalling at client side. This is the concept of marshalling. Mostly in interviews, in interviews they ask the basic question about how you can transfer the object over the network. So in Python, it can be we can transfer object over the data by using the concept of marshalling and demarshalling. But in Python, it can be done automatically or by default. If you are working in Java, there is a unicast remote object class is responsible for to transfer the object or to export the object over the network. Understand? Now our topic is Python. So forget the Java. Let me create a program how to resolve the IP or how to resolve the address of host and address of host. Okay. For this purpose, we have to import the socket packet. Right. For this purpose, just wait for 2 minutes. Yes, I'm back. Just let me write down the code. For this purpose, we have to import the socket package. For importing the socket package, just write import. What we are going to import? Import socket. Then we have to create. So we have to call the socket method available in the socket package. That is for the using socket associate socket dot socket. In this method socket, there must be two arguments. There are two arguments by default. If we cannot if we can't pass the arguments, there is no problem. By default, we already take the two arguments. The first argument is represent the IP family, and the second argument represent the byte stream. What type of byte stream? What means not type of byte stream transferring over the network. The two arguments passed inside this method are first is the IP family, IPv4 family, and the second argument represent the byte stream. Okay, the socket is created. Let me check socket is created or not. Print socket is created successfully. First, one more thing, we have to work inside by using try-catch. It is the best way of programming to handle the runtime exception. Suppose suppose the socket is not created or there is some problem with the code, then the system will generate the exception. So it is our responsibility to tackle them by using exception handling. Sorry, except. Print technical error with socket creation. Okay, let me check it. Is it working or not? Save it where? Earlier where we saved the file inside the. I think we saved the file in desktop and there is a folder new folder. Yes. Okay, that's good. Socket one. Let me run it. Socket is created successfully. Now let me show you the advantage of exception handling. Suppose I was going to pass here something like this. Technical error. This is the beautiful, or you can say this is the beauty of exception handling. If you work on exception handling, you love it to work. Although you know what is the technical problem is going on, but the end user doesn't know about the technical problems because they don't have any engineering degree. They or suppose he is if he has dealing but of different brand. Does it? So he doesn't know what type of user is are going on. If they are going to going for ATM and to try to withdraw the cash, they said there is some technical problem. They doesn't know what is the technical problem, or either server is busy or there is some lack of cash, or something is machine is not working. They go to the branch manager and ask them, your machine is not working, or there are these are the problems, you people are not working. They always blame to the people. So similarly, in this case, if in this case clients are non-technical, so they blame to the developer. So to avoid these such types of blames or such types of problems, we have to work like we have to use exception handling. Suppose there is a field like mobile number. You have to insert the mobile number. You have to insert number into the mobile number. 1 2 3 4 9 4 5 something is your mobile number. You have to insert it. But user is illiterate or doesn't know how to what is going to insert. He will enter a text. Now, if he insert a text, so who will inform him कि he is going he is going to insert us some different value or wrong value. So it is the responsible of developer. So developer can inform the user or end user or client that he is doing something wrong. Means he is inserting some wrong credentials. So you have to inform that. And how you inform that? How you inform that information to the or you can convey that information to the client. So by using exception handling. Exception is the handling is the beauty of programming language. Either you are working in Java, C Sharp, or any any programming language, you have to love or you have to work on exception handling first. Okay, okay, come to the point. Thank you. My touchpad is not working, so there is some mouse. Now I'm going to remove this. Yes, sure. Thank you. The default, now for this purpose we need, in socket programming we need three basic things. First is socket. You already created the socket. Second is the port number. Port number is visible in your system. It is if it is free, you can easily use it. Mostly people confusing what port number we use to work on socket programming, or to work on RMI, or work on any other protocols. So there is no issue with port number. If your port number is free, if there is any software is using your any port number, if it is free, you can use it. Randomly you can select it. If you are using 1020 port number 1020 or 12345, if it is free, you can use it. If it is not free, you can change the port number by of your own choice. So there is no matter of panic, of being panicked. So the default port number is 8. Yes. We need three basic things. First is socket, already created. Next is port. The default port is 80. Now the third is third one we need host. Host. Oh, sorry. For host we have to get the host name or host address by socket dot get host I name. This is the method. Now inside this we have to pass the web address of which you want to find the address or host address. Suppose I'm going to find out of Google. So www dot, sorry, the spelling of Google is wrong. Google again is wrong. Google.com. Okay. Again, we can here suppose server is busy or there is a problem our client is not able to resolve the address. So we can again here use exception handling. The exception handling is very easy to work. Okay, great. Host address of Google is, what is the host address of Google is host host. I host of whatever the address is storing this host. So we can print the host by using this. Now, if suppose our client is not able to resolve the address, we can handle it by using accept print server doesn't respond. Okay, my program is completed. Let me save it and run it. How to save it? Just simply press on F5. Now, socket is created successfully. First thing is that, and this is the host address of Google. Understand? Is it visible to everyone? Successfully run. Suppose now I'm going to show you some technical problem. Suppose client insert the wrong address. Now in this case, what will happen? X. This is the beauty of server does not respond, or you can change the message. Sorry, you entered wrong credentials. Now let me check. Sorry, you entered wrong credentials. In this way, client understand that he insert some wrong information. That's why he is getting that message. Now I'm going to change this Google to Amazon. Let me check what is the host address of Amazon. Amazon.co.in control S F5. This is the web address of or IP address of Amazon. Let me check the host address of JIT. What is the website of JIT? jit.edu.in. I think this is right. Yes, it is right. Save it, run it. This is the host address of our college, Jahangirabad Institute of Technology, and this is a web address. Okay, I think it is clear. It is very easy for circuit programming. For circuit programming, we have to learn the concept of marshalling, demarshalling. Marshalling is the conversion of object into a byte stream. Then at server side, conversion of byte stream into an object is a demarshalling. Again, conversion of byte stream at server side into the object is a marshalling. Sorry, it is a marshalling, and then the client receive that byte stream and convert again this byte stream into an object. It is a concept of demarshalling. After that, for circuit programming or like basic circuit programming, for basic circuit programming, we need three things. First thing is socket. In socket program, in socket packet, there is a method socket in which we have to pass two arguments. By default, it's working. By default, it works. It already getting the arguments by default. There is no need to insert argument. For the first argument is a IP at IP family, represent the IP and IP family, and the second argument represent the byte stream. Now, second thing we need the port. Port is the default port is 80. And the third thing we need the host. This is the concept of basic concept of socket programming. Now it is over. Thank you, class.